You are an old man who thinks in terms of nations and peoples. There are no nations. There are no peoples. There are no Russians. There are no Arabs. There are no third worlds. There is no West. There is only one holistic system of systems. One vast and immane, interwoven, interacting, multivariate, multinational dominion of dollars. Petrodollars, electrodollars, multi-dollars, Reichmarks, Rins, rubles, pounds, and shekels. It is the international system of currency which determines the totality of life. That is the natural order of things today. There is no America. There is no democracy. We no longer live in a world of nations and ideologies, Mr. Beale. The world is a college of corporations, inexorably determined by the immutable bylaws of business. The world is a business, Mr. Beale. It has been since man crawled out of the slime, and our children will live, Mr. Beale, to see that perfect world in which there's no war or famine, oppression or brutality. One vast and ecumenical holding company for whom all men will work to serve a common profit, in which all men will hold a share of stock. All necessities provided, all anxieties tranquilized, all boredom amused.
The challenges of seasonal influenza. Without better planning, 2020 could be the darkest winter in modern history.
We're about to go into a dark winter. A dark winter.
So you've gotten over COVID. Well, all of us can hope. At least you had your presidency's first positive result.
I beat COVID greatly. It's not as bad as they said. Time to beat a worse virus, the radical left.
Your tax return showed your success was fake news. Treats America like his business. That's why it failed too.
Of course, Sleepy Joe wants to sleep on my accomplishments. The stock market's booming. He wants us to be communists.
Calling the military losers, you've truly crossed the line.
Speaking of lines, I hear your son does those all the time.
Condemn white supremacy. Please, man, try.
Okay, well, the real Proud Boys, please stand by. What have you done for blacks in your pathetic career? I've done more in 47 months than your 47 years.
Your America's filled with poverty and racial tension. You should change your slogan to make America great. Depression.
So do you condone the looting?
No.
Oops, you lost supporters. We need Trump season 2. Law and order.
Bad dreamers.
You have amnesia.
You're a bad leader.
Sad geezer.
Bad tweeter.
Bad speaker.
Plan leader.
Antifa!
You shut up, man.
We're here for an important announcement today. I want to keep Orlando smiling. Keep dancing, Orlando. Hit it.
with a growing concern over the notion that chemical and biological weapons were unaccounted for and could potentially fall into the hands of terrorists, the Department of Defense wanted to test the nation's readiness for such an emergency. In June 2001, the DoD conducted a war game called Operation Dark Winter.
Dark Winter was a major exercise that was done prior to 9/11, earlier in 2001, to look at the effects of a biological terror event. And it was kind of a scary scenario. We would lose a lot of people if a really effective bioterror event occurred.
The simulation evaluated the government's ability to respond and communicate with the public, and the exercise even included mock news reports.
Since the diagnosis of 20 smallpox cases in Oklahoma City 12 days ago, hundreds have now died, thousands have become infected.
We had to, think about things like, quarantines and martial law, and things like that. All of a sudden, our system wasn't our system anymore because we had this terrible thing going on, and we had to change. We had to, change the way we thought about things. We had to change the way the military interrelated with the civilian world, and it was really an eye-opener.
And the conclusion were tens of millions of deaths, no commerce between states, no airplane flying for 6 months, and war between Oklahoma and Texas.
Today, the world is confronting a public health emergency unlike any we've seen in over a century. We are facing a highly transmissible and deadly virus which not only claims lives but also disrupts the very foundations of our society. The American healthcare system is being taxed to the limit. Our economy is spiraling downward, and our population is being paralyzed by fear stemming from a lack of a coordinated response and a dearth of accurate, clear communication about the path forward. Our window of opportunity is closing. If we fail to improve our response now, based on science, I fear the pandemic will get worse and be prolonged. There will be likely a resurgence of COVID-19 this fall.